Did you know that Vapi can bring in old clients or previous clients for a business? In this example, I'm going to show you how you can set it up where if you have a list of old clients or previous clients and you have a sale or an offer, that Vapi can call them. Not only that, Vapi can call them using a personalized greeting from your list and then also book them into a Go Highlevel calendar. We'll go through the video. In the video, I'll show you the MSBAR and the MSBAR snapshot with a website. I'll show you how Highlevel can make a call to Vapi with a personalized greeting from that database. And then I'll show you how Vapi can book them into your Go Highlevel or your client's Go Highlevel calendar. And at the end, if you keep watching, I'll show you how you can get the snapshot with the website, the Go Highlevel blueprint that makes a call to Vapi, and most important, how Vapi connects to Go Highlevel blueprint. Stay, watch this video, and I'll show you how it all works. So, how would it work? You have a client, MSBAR NZ, that's set up on your Go Highlevel. They have a bunch of clients in the Go Highlevel CRM that's used their services before and they haven't seen in a while. So they've created a special 25% discount if they book into this specific calendar. And we're going to use Vapi to make those calls. I'm going to show you how to do it all, and we're just going to prove the concept first. So I have my client in here, obviously me, first name in here, and we're going to add it to an automation called make. Add automation. Oh, have a go in here. This sends a call to Vapi, and the phone's about to ring. Ringing.
Hello, Walters. This is Mary from MSBAR NZ. How are you today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm calling to let you know that MSBAR NZ is offering a 25% off all bookings done today for returning clients. It's a one-time offer. Can I book you in today?
Yes, please.
Great. What date would you like to book in?
Friday, 2 p.m.
Just a sec. Your appointment is all set for Friday. Thank you for booking with us and enjoy your visit.
Awesome. So that is it. But what if we have a client? Its name is. I'll change the name to Sally. And let's say that it rings and calls Sally as well, and Sally wants to make an appointment for the same time. So I want you to listen how it greets is set to Sally and how we reschedule the appointment if there's an overlapping example. Here. It's going to make the call.
Hello, Sally. This is Mary from MSBAR NZ. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thanks for asking. I wanted to let you know that we are offering a 25% discount on all bookings for returning customers, but it's a one-time offer if you book in today. Can I schedule you in?
Yes.
Wonderful. What date would you like to book in?
Go Friday at 2 p.m.
Give me a moment. It looks like I need a bit more detail on the time. Could you let me know the specific time you'd like for your appointment on Friday?
2 p.m.
Give me a moment. It seems that 2 p.m. on Friday is not available. Could you please suggest a new time for your appointment?
Friday 3 p.m.
Just a sec. Great news, Sally. Your appointment is booked for Friday at 3 p.m. Thank you for choosing.
Lovely. So MSBAR NZ will obviously get your notifications, and when they look at the special sale calendar, they'll see that Altus is booked in here, and Sally is booked in here. So that's it. The proof of concept. That's the two automations in here. And now we're going to go step by step about how to do it. So hang on tight. So this is going to get a little bit more technical. So the technical parts, it's going to be lots of little tips and tricks and things you need to pay attention to, especially when you're new at Go Highlevel or new at Make.com. So we'll first set up the whole Go Highlevel side of things. So when you have a Highlevel account, you just need to make sure when you go into settings and you go into business profile that we need to make sure what time zones we are all in. So usually it comes in when you fill it all out, but we need to remember two things. You need to remember the plus minus time zone, and we need to remember these wordings here. So as you can see, it's all a bit different. It's all got heaps in there, but you need to copy and paste it and make a note somewhere of the plus minus number and the plus or the actual name in here. The second thing you need to do is in calendars. So even if you have staff as well, likewise the staff members needs to be on the same time zone as well. And next, when you go and create a calendar for the staff member or for the group, you go create calendar. You need to make sure our calendars are all set up for the exact same time zone as well. So note down the time zones. Make sure they're all plus minus the same. Make sure they're all the same cities. Next thing you need to do is once you've created a calendar, we want to come in here and copy the calendar ID. It's got a little copy button in here. So you should have a little clipboard, open a notepad, just save all those things in there. So you might be in minus 0800. Oh, terrible typing. And then calendar ID. So just keep in with this. Let's bring this off to the side. And then you should know your city or where you live in. Just make sure it's same in here. So I have America Los underscore. Sorry, I need to bring this over here. So I have a little note in here. So the next thing we need to do in Go Highlevel, so we're just preparing Go Highlevel for everything to be set up. The next thing we need to do, so Highlevel has changed its API functions, and there's this cool little extra thing we can do in here. So we're going to come to, let's move this off to the side. You're going to come to private integrations, and we're going to create a new integration. So new integration, and you're going to call it 25% sale. Sometimes things don't like the percentage, so just go sale. Sale, that'd be cool. So scopes, everything to do with calendars. So set up calendar. So all I do is I copy calendar. So calendar, view calendars, and then you just come in again, and you literally need to tick all of them. See how they go blue on the side. Oh dear. So one more. All right, go create. And again, you're going to have this whole integration key here, and you're going to hit copy. All right, I'm going to put it in here. All right, and then the last thing is your Go Highlevel location. Should have probably added it in here. So if I add it in here, so I'm just going to delete this one. So add delete in here. So we also need your Go Highlevel, the location ID or the sub account ID, whichever way you want to call it. And that's usually when you come to business profiles in here, and it's got the location ID in here. So hit this in here, location ID. Right, so there we go. We have things set up. So you've created a calendar and you have the calendar ID. We've made sure all our time zones are properly set up. We have a access key and we have a location ID. All right, those are the things you need for Go Highlevel. So go on, set it all up. And usually the trick to do is to make sure you come into your calendars. So go back to calendars on the side and just make sure you can do a booking, like at least try and do a booking. So I got the Vapi one in here. Go share, copy it in here. Oops, enter. So just make sure, see how it changes my time zone to Pacific 13. It's because this is where I am. But we're setting it up for a client in here. You should be able to see all your appointment and all your appointment times. So Friday, oh yeah, see it's all in here, okay? Make sure of that you can see it in here and see those time zones in here. It's all the same, right? So that's it. That's one of the first things to just grab some information from Go Highlevel. So let's just skip this for a second. This, by the way, I'll give you this website in here. I'll give you the snapshot. The snapshot will come with a website, and the website, not webinars. Come to website. You'll have a MSBAR website, and it will have a couple of pages built in here for you. It's got the basic one. It will have an about and services. So let's open these just so you can see. At the end, I'll show you how to get all this. So you're not just chop and change and edit it for yourself. But a bunch of pre-built things in here, you can just go and change it as much as you want for you. So it comes with a couple of pages. Thank you page, book your appointment page, obviously load the calendar in here, what's the services and what's it about. So cool little website to have and go with you, I reckon. So next part is we're going to set up Vapi. So hang on for that. Okay, in Vapi you're going to create a new assistant. So again, part of this is I'll actually give you this whole prompt. So all I did is create a new assistant. What I like to do is have it on GPT-4o mini cluster. I think it goes the fastest, best cost effective. So bear with me here, it's not going to make a lot of sense, but these are just a couple of things we need to have in. So I'm going to say hello, first name. So it's a custom value. So that's where it changed from Altus to Sally, and it was going to greet it through here. I don't want to read too much over the whole prompt. There's lots of extras in here. Talks about the role, talks about the task. You're going to say hello first name. I always mention things like that in here. But I want to come down here. We're going to work on the function and the tool functions. So read through it as you want, but the task they're going to have is I'm going to have to ask them to explain that there's a sale and try book them in. Once they're booked in, they need to run a specific tool in Vapi, and that tool is called MSBAR. So we're going to get into that next, and I'll show you what I mean. But once you have a date, use the MSBAR function tool. Remember the contact ID. It's not going to make any sense, but I'll tell you about this soon. Remember the contact ID, the first name, and the booking time. Don't change the booking time. Keep it like this because we're going to use ChatGPT to format it. So all it says is try book them in, tell them about the sale, book them in. Once you have a date, run this tool, and then we're going to get into this tool. And also remember to add the contact ID. So the contact ID is just something that comes from Go Highlevel. So if I have a database, I'll go back to Go Highlevel. So if you have a database of contacts, all your contacts in here has an actual Go Highlevel ID. It's called a contact ID. So Sally will have her own, the next person will have her own, the next person will have her own. So that's how Go Highlevel knows that once Go Highlevel ID person signs up to an appointment, they can use all these details to sign up to the appointment. Okay, if that makes sense. So just have a think of this, keep it in the back of your mind. Every Go Highlevel person has a Go Highlevel ID, and that's how we're gonna take that ID from Go Highlevel and make appointments and make calendars. So don't worry too much about it. Just think about it. We're gonna use the tool function, and we're gonna use the contact ID function to send it over to Go Highlevel. All right. Don't think too much about it. We'll get into it very soon. Just remember this. That's the important parts. So when you go into the rest of the settings, it's all pretty much standard in here for what it comes about. The transcriber, the voice, I like to use 11 labs. And then the function in here, we're just going to call the MSBAR function. And I'm going to show you how and what we set this up now. So on the left hand side, there's a bunch of things called tools. Let's move my face out of the way a little bit. All tools in here. And you're just going to create a new tool. And I'll see if we can go in here. Create a new tool on the top. So just say blank for now. I'll show you how we're going to fill this in there soon. It needs a proper URL. Blank.com. And make sure you select make HTTP blank.com. Right, and then move this back over here. Hit save. Gonna go next. So pay attention to these as well. Write them down. So we're gonna have, I'll show you the other parts in here, but we're gonna have first name. So the spelling and the capitalize is very important. This is the first, we don't need first name, my bad. All we need is the contact ID, and we need the booking time. So booking time, have that in here. So this is the booking time that the user gives, unformatted. So it just means that if they say Friday 2 p.m., it's going to say Friday 2 p.m. Okay, remember this as well. All right, you might need to write it down somewhere, doesn't matter. Hit the save button, and then we're gonna have contact ID. And remember how I said it's going to be a variable. We'll get to this soon. You're going to have to watch this video a couple of times. This is a very technical part. So this is the contact ID. And I have it like this. Variable. Alright. So just have those two. Hit next. And we're going to call this. So you need to call it the same as the other one. I can't have it because I already have it in there. MSBAR 2. Alright. So in here on the side will be all your tools. So I'll just go in here and show you MSBAR 2 or MSBAR, the normal MSBAR one in here. Just move this, change this a little bit. So when I come in here, MSBAR integration, so I got the contact ID. So this is the one I've set up, and this is how I'm going to show you in the make scenario. But you got to remember the spelling. Contact ID in here, and booking time, the booking time unformatted. All right, so that's it. So you got the tool set up, and literally what you can do is you can go back to assistance, and you can kind of just play around with Vapi for a little bit. So come in here, my database activation one, and on the top in here, there's talk to assistants. It's a really good little function from Vapi, and you can just talk and see what it sounds like. I'll give you this prompt because there's a couple of extra bits in here, a couple of tricks, give an example, a couple of notes, and then I have act like a human as much as you can. So cool little prompt, play around with it. I'll give it to you at the end as well, or I'll tell you how to get it in the end. So we've kind of set up Vapi, but now we need to connect Highlevel with Vapi. So there's a couple of things you need to do is bring up this again, and what we need to do is you need to remember in the top right here is your Vapi assistance ID. So I'm going to go ahead, click copy. I'm going to paste that in here. When you go into phone numbers on the side, you're going to have a phone number ID as well that you can copy across. And when you go into profile and API keys, let's move this here, API keys, you'll get your API key down here as well. So you need to copy those three things. The assistant ID, put it in here. Then the phone number ID. Then the assistant ID, phone number ID, and then your API key. Alright, remember those things. So what we're going to do next is we're going to learn how to connect Go Highlevel to Vapi via Make. Alright, so might not make a lot of sense, but we'll get into it. I'll refer back to all the other functions that we had earlier on. So let's get into that. To make a call to Vapi, we're going to have to connect it to a webhook. So I'll show you how to do all of that. Let me just save all this and we'll go next. Okay, so I'll show you how to get this blueprint. You're going to download it, you're going to import it. So a couple of things to change in there is to connect Go Highlevel to Make, we're going to have to set up a webhook. So kind of come into webhooks, you're going to just say redetermine data structure. You're going to say copy in here, and I'm going to copy this webhook ID. Then you're going to come to Highlevel, you're going to go to automations, and you're just going to create a blank automation. Call it whatever you need to call, and I'm just going to say webhook in here, and I just add that straight into here. All right, that is step one. All right, so once you have step one, you can test it with workflow. So you can test, and I can add me as a contact in there to run the test. All right, so might sit waiting in here, or you can just have it run for a second. And I'll show you what all that does. So I'm gonna come in here, and I'm just gonna say run. Oh, no, I didn't save that. Might actually be sending myself a phone call. Let's come in here, say copy, and shut that one. Come here, paste the new webhook in. Save, test, make sure this one is running, and test workflow. No, still does not like it. Run test. Bad clicking. Alright, it's going to fail because I've changed this, but I'll show you what I mean with the contact ID now. So Sally here has tried to initiate or has connected to Vapi or connected to make.com using the webhook. So when I look in here, you can see a lot of data in here. You're going to have the contact ID, and this is what we need to carry across, because once Sally wants to make a booking, Highlevel needs to know that this contact ID is trying to make a booking. All right, so in here it connects in here, it shows that we have the booking in, so you have the name, or not the booking, we have the contact ID. So now we know that Sally and this number wants to make a call. So the next part is to save those dynamic variables. So when we send details over to Vapi, it needs to be a proper variable, like we said earlier on in Vapi in the tools, in here. So in tools, we have this contact ID in here, and that's going to be the dynamic variable. And also when we look at assistants in here as well, you can see in here, database assistant, when we look down the bottom, when we talk in here, the contact ID, this is what we need. We need to create that and create the first name as well, because we want to call them by the name when they call. And that's where we need to create a JSON string. So it's just a string that it puts into default. So when you download this, this is going to be blank, okay? So it's not actually a function in here, but it is a tool within make.com that manipulates data. So when you have it, you're not going to have anything in here at all when you download it. So you're going to say add, and I'll go through it real slowly so we can see, and you can copy and paste what you want. But all you're going to do is say add in here, and you're just going to call it whichever one you want. That's going to be the same as that you call here in Vapi. Okay, contact ID and first name. So I need to copy that contact ID and call it contact ID in here. And you can just leave the rest blank. Then I also need to add in here the first name, and then to add first name in here, because that's the names that we're going to call. It's very important that we keep things similar, okay? First name in here. And once you're done, it will look like this. Contact ID and first name. So another make tip is, once it's colored in here properly, it means it's mapped, okay? So all I've done is I come in here from the webhook, grab the contact ID, and from here, from the first name, I have grabbed first name in here. So now I'm going to take those variables and send it to Vapi, and this is where the next module comes in. So when you download it, you'll get it like this. You have the HTTP module, will be filled out. Keep this the same. It's a post method. It's authorization. And remember how I said you should save your Vapi key. So in Vapi, come here to the bottom, API keys. You copy that API key, and you come back to make in here. You put your API key in here, and then remember this exactly needs to stay in the exact same format. Your assistant ID that you've built, you need to put that number in here. Don't change this. Just make sure it shows purple, not light purple. And then the customer name, you can leave blank because we're going to send it as a variable in there. But we just need to add the phone number. Should already be mapped in there from the webhook, so you shouldn't be able to change that. And then all you need to do is have your customer ID number. So, phone number, sorry. So the phone number. Remember I said go to phone numbers, get the phone number, and that's it. It should all be set. So all this says is once we have a bunch of clients, we're going to add the clients to the workflow. It's going to send the webhook, and the webhook is going to make the call. All right. But here's another important tip. Vapi on the free plan only allows 10 calls at a time. So you're going to have to add a drip mode in here. You're going to have to drip it out 10 per minute. A call takes about a minute. So if you maybe go 9 a minute, it will just be safe. That just means that Vapi is going to allow you to send the calls through. If you have 100 clients you want to send through, 10 is going to work, rest is going to fail. All right. Keep that in mind. You need to add a drip mode in here. So that's it. The webhook is going to create a variable. The variable is going to send it all to Vapi. So once we're into Vapi, we'll go look at the next scenario. So again, I'll show you how to get all of this at the end. Okay, let me just quickly explain to you how the make scenario works. So this is for booking into the Go Highlevel calendar. So once Vapi gets a name and gets a booking ID and gets that contact ID, it's going to send it through the scenario. So we'll look at the webhook. So remember when we came in here in Vapi, we went to tools, and you created your new tool. There's going to be the integration in here, and you can come and change it if you need to. But you need to put your own webhook URL in here. I don't mind about this because I'm going to delete it. But when you come in here, this is the webhook URL. You need to have that in here. It just means that once it runs this tool, it's going to send data to make, and the data is going to be the contact ID and the booking time. Note the spelling here. This is so important. The spelling and the uppercase and lowercase. All right. So when I come back to make, you'll see what I mean. So once it receives the data, you can see in here, when it comes in here, messages, tools, and functions, the MSBAR one, see how it's called, contact ID. Now that's the contact ID that's getting pushed over from the first scenario. All right, so we're transferring data over from Go Highlevel to Make to Vapi. Vapi is going to send it from Vapi back to Make to Go Highlevel to make the booking. And this is the booking time that I actually ask. Again, spelling really important. Spelling, uppercase, lowercase, because these are fields that we're mapping back in the scenario. And if these are different, it's not going to be mapped out. All right. So just keep that in mind. All right. So that's where the function comes in. Your MSBAR function in here, and we're linking up that whole webhook. All right. So I'll just go in here and we'll work slowly through it. So you initiate a call. You ask to be booked in. The booking is going to utilize the MSBAR booking tool. It's going to send the Go Highlevel ID, and it's going to send a time, Friday 2 p.m. Next, you need to connect your own ChatGPT module. And what we need to do is we just need to format the time in a specific way. And all it means is for Highlevel to accept the time, it needs to be in this specific format. So date, month, day, and then the time in this format. All right. So all I've done in here is an example I copied from someone else. That Go Highlevel, that Vapi needs to determine what the time is now. So let's say today is Tuesday, and I say I want to book for Friday. It needs to figure out what the date is. What is Friday's date? So we're going to use a make function. We're going to say that the time is now, and this is just a function in make in here. And then we're going to say that we're going to give you a time, and you need to rewrite that time into this appropriate output. All right, so we're just changing the time. So it needs to understand what today, what tomorrow is, what's next week. And then it needs to understand how to rewrite it. And this is all this big prompt does. All right, you don't have to change anything in here when you download it. The only thing you need to do is make sure that the booking time we call is all red. If it's grayed out, it means it's not linked. So you need to go through to tools, function, arguments, and add your booking time in here. All right, that's the only one thing you need to change in this module. So we're going to grab the contact ID, then we're going to format the time appropriately, then we're going to try make a booking. Okay, so you come to in here, you're going to create the HTTP module. It should be already loaded. You go to add, because there won't be anything in here, and this can just be blank because we're going to authenticate with your Go Highlevel API key. All right, so that can be blank. This is blank. Leave that as is. Leave that as it is. And then bear it in here. Your Go Highlevel API key is the one we copied from here earlier on. Your API key. All right, so you're going to copy that whole key, and we're going to put it in here. Next, come in here. Again, this is important. Keep your format the same. So again, calendar ID is in here. Need to replace that in here. Location ID, replace that in here. Make sure this is mapped with that contact ID from the webhook. All right. And this is here where I said, remember the time, minus 0800 for me. So come in here and we need to add that minus 0800. So all it says and all it does is it's going to connect to Go Highlevel, and it's going to attempt to make a booking on this calendar in this location by this contact ID. So this person is going to try and make a booking at this time. So the time that's edited by ChatGPT and the time window on there. So, depending on what it does, if it has a booking that says fine, this will give a code of, I'll come back in here, it will give a status code of 201. So that means it's booked okay and it's booked fine. So all I'm saying is I've put in a router in here where it says, you need to come in here, click on here. It says if there's a status code of 201, yes, the booking is fine. It means it's done the booking, and all I'm doing is sending it back, sending a message back, status code 201 to Vapi, and this is where it will say, thank you, your booking is done. All right, so that's really easy. That's the easy part. But what if that booking slot is already booked out? So what we're going to do is you're going to get a status code for a 1 in here, all right, a 400, all right. So when there's no data and the status code shows 400, and let me try bring up one that shows like this. Let's just go in here, history. Now it should be this one here. So hold on a second for me. I think it's the one in here that we filled out. There's 7 operations. So we'll just go in here, and just when you have a look in here, it will show you that the booking slot is not available. So it gives a status code of 400. And once it gives that status code, it's going to go through the next workflow. All right. So in the next workflow, again, we're just going to edit and manipulate data, where all I'm telling it is we're going to have a start time and a finish time. The start time is going to be the start of the day, midnight on that specific day that we have, and the end time is going to be the end time of the day. Then we're going to run this tool, and this tool just checks for available slots. All right. So all in here, the only things you need to change is your calendar ID in here. All right. So your calendar ID in there. So all I'm going to ask Go Highlevel is to check this calendar, and it's going to be the start time of the day and the end time of the day, and it needs to give me some data, like what times is available. And again, you need to put your API key in here to allow the configuration to book in here. So if it gives a time, we're just going to send it back to back to ChatGPT to format out a little bit. So it's just a little bit of formattation that needs to be done. You're going to give a time in this format. You just need to rewrite it that says, yes, there's a slot available in this time and this time. So come in here. So it just gives a bunch of headers. So it says there's a slot available in this time. If that makes sense. So it's just going to give a bunch of values to ChatGPT. You don't need to think about it too hard. Don't worry about it. It's just going to reformat the time. And see in here, it's not mapped functions. So I need to make sure this time slot's not available. It's going to come from here. Come in here. Tool, function, arguments. So not available slots at that time. And I'm going to use the available slots from the data that I've captured in here. Available slots from the data. And I'm going to send it through to here. And all it's going to say is there's nothing available in here, and I'm going to use the result from ChatGPT, and I'm going to send it back, and that way they can have an option that says maybe try 3 p.m., maybe try 10 a.m. So that's all it does. So it cuts open and cuts over the scenario where it works or it doesn't work. It can book or it can't book rather than work and doesn't work. I hope that makes sense. So it's a lot to process and think. So we'll have high level, we have a person high level with a contact ID. That contact ID initiates a webhook call. Vapi creates a call using a phone number ID and the assistant ID and the API key. Once it makes the phone call, it's going to ask for a date. Once it gives a date, it's going to send the date data and the contact ID that we're bringing over for Go Highlevel to this make scenario. The make scenario is going to reformat the data for us so it's appropriate for Highlevel. It's going to attempt to make a booking in Highlevel using your calendar ID, your contact ID, and the location ID and the token ID. Once it connects out through it, it's going to send it back to Vapi and it's going to book them in. If it's not, it's going to say, no, you can't book in, please try another date. Then it's going to send it through again and keep trying to book them in. Okay? Hope that all really makes sense. Very, very powerful, extremely popular at the moment, really good to on sale. All right? So before we go on, I just want to remind you of something. If Vapi and New Highlevel and Go Highlevel and Make.com is all really new to you, I have a course that you can try out, and this is the link for it. I'll show it up to you as well. So in this, it's literally a mini course. It would just show you how to use Highlevel, how to scrape some data if you don't know how to use it, and how to connect Highlevel, Vapi, OpenAI, Twilio, and 11 Labs together. There's a bunch of things in there. There's a bunch of modules we go over. Let's move this over to the side. You go through how to set up Highlevel, how to set up Twilio, how to set up Vapi, how to connect, make and Go Highlevel and Vapi together, Vapi tools. And then I always keep adding these resources in here, okay? If you want the snapshot, go back in here. If you want the snapshot from this MSBAR that includes the website in here, and if you want the Vapi prompt, assistant, I have the prompt in here. Basics as far as prompt building goes: role, task, specifications, content, put in an example, add some notes, and just some little golden extra bits. Say things like got it and okay, let me do that for you, keep users informed, be respectful. I'll give you the prompt. So you get the snapshot, you get the prompt. I'll give you the first booking or the first make automation that connects make to Highlevel. And then let me go back in here. Let's go back to scenarios. I'll give you this blueprint. The only thing you need to do is edit the webhooks. You need to manually add the variable, add the bits to the Vapi, and I'll give you this second scenario. This is how you connect Vapi to a Go Highlevel calendar. It will all be in the link below. Yes, there's going to be a small donation, but it's so worth it than you having to struggle and add it out here before. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it makes sense to you. Please like, please follow, please subscribe, test things. At the moment, really good, really important, and you can make so much money by selling this to clients. All right? Talk to you guys later. Thank you.